Good morning, everyone. The topic for today is provisional restorations in FPD. As you all know, the success of any prosthesis always depends upon correct diagnosis, treatment planning, and execution of the sequential steps of any procedure. So, whenever we plan for a single crown, a bridge, or a replacement of multiple teeth, we should give prior considerations for providing provisional restorations till we fabricate the permanent prosthesis. Provisional restorations play a very important role by maintaining health, function, and aesthetics after preparation of natural tooth or teeth. This not only gains patients' confidence in accepting permanent prosthesis but acts as a guide for dentists in deciding any changes to be done in permanent prosthesis. Definition: according to GPT, it is a fixed or a removable prosthesis designed to enhance aesthetics, stabilization, and function for a limited period of time, after which it is to be replaced by a definitive prosthesis. Synonyms: this is also called as temporary restorations, interim restorations, or intermediate restorations. Role of the provisional restorations: they should protect pulp of prepared abutments. They should maintain parallelism of abutments. They should immediately replace missing teeth. They should prevent supraeruption or drifting of abutments. They should improve aesthetics. They should provide an environment conducive to periodontal health. They should evaluate and reinforce the patient's oral home care. Ideal requirements. Ideal requirements of the provisional restorations are biological, mechanical, aesthetics. What are the ideal biological requirements? Protection of pulp, maintenance of periodontal health, provision of occlusal compatibility, maintenance of tooth position, protection against fracture. Mechanical factors: it should resist functional loads, it should resist removal forces, it should maintain inter-abutment alignment, it should be easy to remove and reuse. Aesthetic factors: it should be easily contourable, it should have color compatibility, it should be translucent, it should have color stability. We'll discuss biological requirements. Pulp protection. During tooth preparation, the dentinal tubules are exposed. So, provisional restorations must seal and insulate the prepared tooth surface from the oral environment to prevent sensitivity and further irritation to the pulp. So, to prevent irreversible pulpal damage, temporary restorations should be made. Periodontal health. After tooth preparation, the gingival sulcus is open as the contour is lost. So, cervical contour has to be restored. Provisional restorations should provide good marginal fit, proper contour, and a smooth surface to prevent accumulation of plaque and maintain periodontal health. Occlusal compatibility. Provisional restorations should provide comfortable, stable, functional occlusal contacts with opposing teeth. It prevents supraeruption and undue forces to the opposing teeth and underlying tissues. Maintain tooth position or positional stability. A provisional restoration should establish proper contact with adjacent teeth. Failure to obtain this can lead to mesial or distal drifting of teeth. Prevention of fracture. It should protect the prepared tooth surface from fracture, which is commonly seen in partial coverage restorations, in which margins of restorations is close to the occlusal surface of the tooth. By providing correct occlusal contacts with opposing teeth and by providing adequate thickness of temporary material while fabrication, the fracture can be prevented. Mechanical requirements. Resistance to functional load. Provisional restorations should possess good compressive and flexural strength. The strength of material used for fabricating provisional restoration is always much lower than that of the definitive restorative material. The greatest stresses in a provisional restoration occurs during mastication, around 150 pounds. So provisional restoration should bear these forces. Broader connectors should be formed to prevent the breakage. Resistance to removal forces. Provisional restoration should have close adaptation to the prepared teeth surfaces to prevent displacement and recementation. The restoration should remain intact during removal so that it can be reused when required. Patient also should be instructed not to eat sticky food or chewing gums. Maintenance of interabutment alignment. Abutments should be reduced to a single path of removal and insertion. Proximal walls should be parallel to each other or of all prepared teeth. Provisional restoration should maintain adequate proximal contacts. Ease of removal and reuse. Provisional restorations should be able to remove easily and re-cement easily. If they are well fabricated with adequate thickness of material and cemented with temporary cement, they can be removed without any breakage. Aesthetic requirements. Contourable compatibility. A provisional restoration should be able to well contoured for aesthetics and for gingival health by preventing plaque formation. Color compatibility. The color of provisional restoration should match with adjacent natural teeth. Translucency. The translucency of provisional restoration should match with adjacent natural teeth. Color stability. The color stability of provisional restoration should be maintained. Requirements of materials used for provisional restorations. They should have adequate working and setting time. They should have low thermal conductivity. They should be compatible with tissues and luting agents. They should be easy to handle, contour and polish. They should be dimensionally stable. They should have adequate strength and wear resistance. They should be aesthetically acceptable. They should be inexpensive and repairable. Materials used for custom-made fabrication, provisional restorations. They are resin-based and metal-based. Resin-based, we have acrylics and bisacryl composites. Acrylics are polymethyl methacrylate and poly are methacrylate. Composites are chemically activated, light activated, dual activated or dual cure. Cast metal alloy, nickel chrome alloy is preferred because it is supposed to have a greater strength. Provisional restorations are classified on the following basis: according to method of fabrication, according to material used, according to technique of fabrication, according to duration of use. According to method of fabrication, they are divided as preform or prefabricated and custom made. According to material used, resin based and metal based. Resin based, under resin based, the preformed ones are polycarbonate crowns, cellulose acetate crowns, in custom made acrylics and disacrylic composites. Metal based, in metal based, the preformed provisional restorations are aluminum shell crowns, tin silver crowns, nickel chrome crowns. Custom made cast metal alloy, that is nickel chrome alloy. According to technique of fabrication, direct technique, indirect technique, indirect and direct technique. According to duration of use, short term and long term. Short terms are used for 2 to 3 weeks and long term restorations are used for 3 to 6 months. Preform provisional restorations, resin based, they are polycarbonate crowns and cellulose acetate crowns. Metal based are aluminum shell crowns, nickel chromium crowns and tin silver crowns. Polycarbonate crowns. These crowns are supplied in incisor, canine and premolar tooth forms. These crowns have the most natural appearance of all the preform crowns. When properly selected and modified, their appearance is very aesthetic. These crowns are very color stable. Although it is available in limited shades, this can be overcome by modifying, relining, by modifying, uh, by they can be modified by relining with different shades of self-cured tooth resin materials. Polycarbonate crowns, these crown forms are more tolerable, establish better contact areas. Cellulose acetate crowns, These crowns, these crown forms are available in different tooth forms and sizes. They are basically thin, soft, transparent matrix of 0.2 to 0.3 mm. Matching size crown form is selected, trimmed to fit the preparation without impingement on the soft tissues. Self-cured tooth resin material of respective shade is selected, mixed and placed in the matrix, and it is placed on the tooth. Please do not forget to apply Vaseline on the tooth surface. When resin sets, shell is removed, excess is trimmed, and the provisional restoration is cemented. These are the cellulose acetate crowns. You can see they are transparent. Aluminium shell crowns. Aluminium shell crowns are available for posterior teeth, that is premolar and molar teeth. They can be contoured or molded as per the tooth form, and excess can be trimmed off. But these crowns lack the rigidity for acceptable marginal strength and proximal contacts. To overcome this, the crowns are lined with acrylics or composites and cemented with temporary cements. Well-fitted shell crowns can last for several weeks. Aluminium shell crowns are available in anatomic and non-anatomic forms. Nickel chromium crowns. These crowns are basically used for extensively damaged primary teeth. They can be used for permanent teeth, but not so frequently. These crowns are adapted with contouring pliers, lined with resins, excess trimmed off, and then cemented with temporary cements. Nickel chrome alloy is very hard and therefore can be used for long-term restorations. You can see nickel chromium crowns. Tin silver crowns are same as aluminium shell crowns. Techniques of fabrication. Direct technique, indirect and direct. Indirect, direct technique. What are the advantages of direct technique? Provisional restorations are made on the same day after tooth preparation. It is supposed to have a better fit of restoration. Disadvantages: more chair side time is required. Heat is generated while setting of the material. So when the heat is generated, it can damage to the pulp. Direct technique, how it is done. Before preparation of the teeth, the impression is taken. You can either take a full arch impression or sectional impression with elastomeric impression material, that is either polyether or addition silicone. You can also use alginates, but then you have to restore it correctly. After preparation of the teeth, you have to apply Vaseline on the prepared teeth. Use the provisional restorative material, place it in the impression which we have made, place it against the teeth, allow it to set. Once it sets, remove them, remove the excess, try it in the mouth, check for the high points, reduce the high points, and then cement it in the mouth. Indirect technique. Advantages. Chairside time is saved. No damage to the pulp, as we don't do it in the mouth. Material doesn't come directly in contact with the teeth. Disadvantages: it is time consuming. Restorations cannot be cemented on the same day of preparation of the teeth. As it is said, indirect means we don't do directly in the mouth. After the preparation of the teeth, we have to make the impression, pour the cast, make the index, place the temporary restoration material in the index, and then prepare the provisional restoration on the cast. Trim off the excess, polish it nicely, and check it in the mouth. Check for the high points. Once the high points are removed, check for the feet, and then you can cement with the temporary cements. Indirect direct technique. Advantages: provisional restorations are ready before preparation of teeth. Less chairside time. Disadvantages: relining is to be done in the mouth. Sometimes the restoration may become thick if not seated correctly in the mouth. So it is time consuming. As the technique says, indirect direct. Before the preparation of the teeth, we have to make the impression over the cast, make the provisional restoration. Next appointment, when the patient comes, we have to prepare the teeth and place these restorations in the mouth. How we proceed for this? We have to make the cast, do the mock preparation of the teeth which we are going to make a crown or a bridge. On that mock preparation, we have to do the temporary restoration. And when patient comes after the tooth preparation, we have to check it in the mouth, check for the fit, check for the high points. Once the high points are removed, and if the restoration is fitting correctly in the mouth, we have to cement with the temporary cements. So the luting agents which we use for provisional restorations, what are the ideal requirements of those cements? They should be biocompatible. They should be chemically compatible with the provisional polymer. They should have strength. They should be able to seal the leakage of oral fluids. They should have less solubility in oral fluids. They should have sufficient working and setting time. We should be able to remove the excess easily. Which are the temporary cements used for cementation of provisional restorations? Zinc oxide eugenol cement, reinforced zinc oxide eugenol cement, and non-eugenol cement. What are the limitations of provisional restorations? They can provide mild to moderate gingival tissue irritation. They lack the adequate strength. So fracture of provisional restoration is possible, especially in long span PPDs, bruxism, and reduced interocclusal clearance. Inadequate marginal adaptation, compromised bonding characteristics, plaque accumulation, poor aesthetics in long-term restorations. My references are Rosenstiel and Rangarajan. Thank you all of you.